hear ye, gather around, squires, degenerates, yanderes, and soon.
Oh no.
No skills. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Tavern Talk. I am your host, DJ, and I'm joined by my co-host, Brendan.
What up?
Hi, how's everybody doing? How's everybody doing today? It's been a hot minute since the last TT. I think the last one we did was two working men going to a bar, so it's been a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
It's nice to be back here in the old tavern, having a couple of pints with the homies, with the fellas, and just talking about anything that we feel like we want to talk about. And on the docket today, we might be a little late to the party, but we still want to throw in our 2 cents. We want to talk about the FTC, that's the Federal Trade Commission, wanting to sue Activision, Microsoft, wanting to sue Microsoft for trying to buy Activision Blizzard.
Yeah.
Gotta love it. The first thing that comes to my mind is, well, not double standard, but the hypocrisy. Okay, to catch you guys up, if you don't know, if you don't understand what I'm saying here, a little while back, like last year, Microsoft bought Activision Blizzard, the developers Activision Blizzard. And so that means,
correction, they're trying to buy it. The money's there. The deal's
still
trying
to buy
on, but the FTC is trying to stop it. For a while, the CMA was well, but it's looking like that might change. We'll see about that.
Okay. Yeah, so pardon my blunder. I am so sorry. So they are attempting to buy it. They were in talkings with the CEO of Activision Blizzard, whose name escapes me, but he's a dirtbag anyway. So these dealings have been going on for the better part of the past year, especially since with the new Call of Duty coming out, or I've been out now for a month, and it's been doing pretty well. And then out of nowhere, Sony gets into FTC's ears and tries saying, if you let them buy this, they would be too powerful and there wouldn't be any competition. Now, Sony's basing this all on the grounds of because let's be real here, Microsoft already owns 23 other developers, from Ninja Theory to Bethesda to Mojang when they procured Minecraft. But, and I want your opinion on this, the companies, the developers that Microsoft has bought, they've done nothing but try. They haven't turned it into we're trying to monopolize just Xbox / PC. They've taken these game developers' video games and they've made them so much better because now they have so much more funding for publishing and actual game development. Would you agree?
I mean, I want to agree, but if I'm going to be real, we haven't really experienced not even half of what these developers are making yet. This year has been pretty dull when it comes to Xbox exclusive games. We have maybe exclusive third-party stuff, but when it comes to first-party games, we haven't really experienced much of anything this year. And I'm hoping 2023 is better, because shit, we got Redfall, we got Starfield, we got some other games that are basically being developed and supposed to be coming out next year. And I don't know.
As on that though, I will say this much, because I did read a couple articles of people expressing the same thing, and that was one of Sony's biggest complaints, is they're just gonna make everything an Xbox exclusive, and that's not fair. If that's not the teapot calling the kettle black,
the hypocrisy,
Sony,
is fucking real.
That's where this calamity of hullabaloo is coming about. Is like, how is Sony reserving the right to say all they're going to do is make exclusives? Well, with Sony, all you do is make exclusives. Last of Us Part 2, God of War 2, and the first two of that ladder, Last of Us Part 1 and God of War, you had to have your ankles ripped off and begged and pleaded to allow them to put it on Steam, and it's still not on there yet. And Microsoft has said through the purchasing of Activision Blizzard, they're not gonna make more games Xbox exclusive outside of I want to say it was Starfield and Redfall, and they outright addressed the whole Call of Duty incident. They'll never make it platform specific.
Wait.
They'll always be a cross-plat game.
Okay, by God of War not being on PC, you're talking about the ones before not recent, because the recent's Ragnarok, 2019 Ragnarok, or sorry, God of War,
2018.
God of War 2018. I don't care. Fucking God of War 1, 2, and 3 are not on PC, but the 2018 one is. Sadly, because honestly, I'd rather have 1, 2, and 3. Those were amazing games. And definitely more of my area of games that I'd rather play. But I'm not saying that the 2018 one isn't good or bad. I haven't played it, but I've heard a lot of good things. Eventually, I'll probably buy it for PC. But on the topic of Sony keeping things exclusive, if you want to have that conversation, it's literally the best example would be the Spider-Man games, because Spider-Man was originally going to be on all platforms, but then they bought Insomniac, and they made it exclusive.
Yep. The thing that they don't want Microsoft doing.
The hypocrisy. But I think there's another game. I don't really know. I know a big one right now are the Final Fantasy games, where they were multi-plat, and Sony is basically buying exclusivity from Square Enix. Final Fantasy 16, the new one, is gonna be PlayStation exclusive, and I don't know if it's time. The I think it's 7 remake. Yeah, Final Fantasy 7 remake is on PC now. Granted, it's the port is shit. The PC port is pretty fucking bad, or else I would have bought it myself. But it's terrible, and it's still, even if the time exclusivity has run out, they are still making it so it is not on Xbox. It is only on PC and PlayStation now. And it's been basically a year, and it's still not on Xbox, and they're trying to keep it that way. And they're doing the same thing in the 16.
But that goes back to the whole the hypocrisy of how are you going to get into the FTC's ear and say that they're monopolizing and they're going to be too powerful, that there's only room for competition, because all they're going to do is make out exclusives, when two things: A, you're doing the exact same thing, but B, and you said this earlier, yes, Microsoft does have 23 devs, some of which I aforementioned. But as you said, they're not really putting out anything. Like, outside of the teasers for Elder Scrolls 6, which we won't see for at least another 2 years.
Maybe even more.
But then even then, what has Obsidian done with Outer Worlds? What are they working on now? We don't know. The only thing that's really the only thing that's really going on that is public right now is Minecraft, and that's just because Minecraft won't fucking die. Okay. So to combat Stoney's argument of saying it's not good, this isn't fair to competition. I
was gonna say, continue. No, I'll let you finish.
I was about to say, to combat Sony's cry of, this isn't good for competing devs. Prime example is look at Epic Games with Fortnite. Epic Games isn't a part of Microsoft, and Fortnite is still, though in my opinion, still the cringiest, but one of the biggest games on the platform. They just got Mr. Beast, good guy Mr. Beast, the biggest creator on YouTube, his own character model in the fucking game.
Yep.
They just did dealings with, they do dealings with everybody, but then they just had exclusive skins and some shit for My Hero Academia. Haven't watched it. Don't say anything.
They did a deal with CD Projekt Red. They put in Geralt from Witcher. They put from id Software. They got Doom Slayer.
Oh, wait, they did? I thought that was just a rumor.
No, that and they got Doomslayer in there, which is very out of place, might I add, but still, it's in the game. I mean, technically, both of them are very fucking out of place, but it's neither here or there. It's cool. I still won't play the game, but it's pretty cool.
You might get me to get onto it if I could buy Doomslayer, and as I'm playing him, his Doom Eternal music is playing in the background. Then maybe.
No idea. They might have done that if they were cool, if they're cool about it, but I don't know.
But again, that goes back to what I'm saying. It's like you have developers like Epic Games with just Fortnite alone. Damn, whatever the fuck else they got going on. Epic Games has managed to stay afloat with this one name, this one game. They're not worried about what Microsoft's doing. They're worried about what Epic Games is doing. Who can they get next? Or like, what anime are they going to do? Are they going to do a collab with next? Maybe they bring on UFC fighters that have their own character skins. We don't know, but they're not worrying about competition. They're worrying about what they got going on.
I mean, granted, Epic Games is under heavy scrutiny right now because of what the FTC has revealed to the public. Because of that, I'm not going to get into that. It's a totally different topic from what we're talking about. But the FTC did find them guilty on something huge. And basically, Epic Games scammed a lot of people. And it's a lot of money that they have taken. But that's a whole different story. But what we're here to talk about right now, the FTC and Sony. Let's be real here. They are trying to act it up like they are weak and that they will fall from grace if Activision gets purchased by Microsoft. That's not the case. Sony, I think it was like 60 or 70% market lead, and Microsoft is like 10 or like 20 or 30 or something like that. They are not weak. They are market leaders. They will not feel. They will feel. Yes, they will feel a big drop in the money they make because Call of Duty is a huge cash cow for them because of people buying skins in the game and all these bundles and stuff. It's a huge cash cow. But the thing is, Microsoft, just like how they did with the Mojang and Minecraft, they're not going to take it away from the platform at all. And that's like the huge thing that the FTC is like trying to bring home, but Microsoft has clearly said many times they're not going to take it away from PlayStation, not going to take it away from anyone. They're going to keep it on all platforms. Hell, they even made a deal with on that damn Switch. Granted, I do not think that the Switch can run anything new. I think what a smart idea would be to give Switch COD Mobile, which would be awesome. I would have a reason to use that thing outside of my house. But what I was gonna say,
I want to get one just to play Mario Kart. Not even gonna cap.
Not a bad choice. But I think the big thing with Sony is that at this point, I also want to mention that even Steam technically has made a deal with Microsoft to keep it on PC, but they didn't take Microsoft's offer because, according to Gabe Newell, the owner of Steam is like, yeah, no,
Lord Gaben,
we don't need the deal. We trust Microsoft. That's huge. They didn't even take a deal. They just like, no, it's fine. We trust you, Microsoft. We trust that you'll put it on our platform even without a deal, and they took it. So.
Yep.
It's like the only one that's not taking the offer, because Microsoft has given them a huge deal. Like, we're talking 10 years deal to keep Microsoft or to keep Call of Duty on PlayStation. Plus, they even gave them the generous offer to let them put it on their PlayStation Plus subscription deal. PlayStation Plus is basically PlayStation's version of Game Pass. It is absolutely insane that they have not said yes or even commented. They want to drag this out as much as possible because the one thing they don't want to do is give Microsoft money. And that's exactly what would happen if they kept Call of Duty after the purchase of Activision on PlayStation. That means everything that that buys Call of Duty or bundles or whatever they can in the PlayStation Store, Xbox will get a percentage of that because they are the owner of said IP if the deal goes through. That's what they don't want to do. That's what they are making a big fuss about. That's why they are the only ones. Them and the FTC are the only ones that are making this a big deal because unions, countries, governments, fucking corporations, other competitors in the same space, even the employees of Activision want this to go through. And the FTC is not bringing any of that up. And they're supposed to be the ones that are supposed to be pro-consumer, but right now they're being just pro-Sony at this point.
But that's one thing I want to say is like, even the CEO of Microsoft has said, I think that's might have been one of the new developments is Call of Duty. He does not ever plan on making Call of Duty a console exclusive.
No.
Like he does, he refuses to do that because he knows that would be a huge dip in their pocket as well. Yeah, we'll still take off for Xbox and PC, sure, but you do have a huge market of PlayStation players that would miss out, and by PlayStation players missing out, Microsoft also misses out.
Oh, yeah,
and you're not about to lose billions of dollars.
The biggest player base out of all the platforms. That's a huge cut, and they'd be dumb to do that.
Because I will say this much, especially when it comes to PlayStation, and one of the few props I will give because I am a biased asshole. I've been playing PlayStation. I've been playing Xbox since I can even tell you when. But when it comes to PlayStation, you guys, I can tip my hat to you. PlayStation will always have the better campaign-based games. Okay, from Last of Us 2, God of War 2, when they first made and brought on Spyro and Crash Bandicoot, Until Dawn, all those campaign and story-based games are and Spider-Man for a period of time before they gave it to Steam. Fan-fucking-tastic. I will. That is absolutely tippable, and I will always give you the credit where credit is due. But if you want a good multiplayer experience,
they don't get shit.
That's when you go over to PlayStation, to Xbox/PC. That's where we excel is multiplayer experience.
Oh yeah, I love multiplayer games. That's my bread and butter. But I will say this: I do stand by DJ's statement on their games being incredible. But I will say I wish there was more variety because I swear every game that comes out for like the last generation, even now, they're all the same thing. Third-person action-adventure games with a linear story, with maybe some RPG elements and maybe some stealth stuff. I don't know. It's all the same. Can we get maybe some FPS stuff? Like maybe a first-person game would be nice. I haven't seen that in a fucking minute.
No.
Where's Killzone, damn it?
I wouldn't mind playing Killzone again. That shit was fun.
That was fun.
But now, one of the other things I want to bring up that Sony was complaining about, that's also very hypocritical. If it sounds like we're slamming PlayStation, we're really trying not to, or at least I'm really trying not to, because again, I'm very biased. And when I read the news reports from several different outlets as to what was going on, I was like, the first thought that came to my head was, Sony's bitching about insert thing here that Microsoft could potentially do, which they already said they're not going to do. But then it clicked. Sony, you've done the exact same shit. And one of the other things that in their dossier that they wanted to complain about to the FTC, because, Daddy FTC is going to save everybody. This means now they're going to raise their prices for subscriptions and for buying actual games outright. Sony, your base game prices are $70. We're still chilling at around $60.
Actually, that changed.
Just
at least for Series
X.
Well, when it comes next year, not this year, but in the beginning of next year, Xbox is going to raise their exclusive games prices to $70, but that only applies to the Series X and Series S games. Anything like Series Xbox One or whatever, that's still $60. But still, they are going to be bumping up to $70 now. Granted,
well, I think that's also because the whole.
That's also an argument. Is if you have Game Pass, you won't have to pay for that, but that's still just a monthly subscription. 12 months of the year, you're basically making $120 for a whole year of Game Pass subscription. That also comes up to like maybe
And that's what you pay monthly.
two games or something like that. It's still a good deal. I'm just saying.
Yeah, and that's also what you pay. That's also what you pay monthly, because a year subscription of Xbox you play monthly. For Xbox Live, you pay monthly, it's $10. So that's $120 for the year. But if you just lump it into a year, like I've been doing, it's only $60.
Yeah,
for an entire year. So essentially, you're paying $10 every 2 months.
So, I mean, granted, here's my perspective. I don't really care for the whole platform thing. I do love Xbox because that's where I met all my friends. I am more loyal to Xbox than anything else, but I don't care for the whole platform thing. What I want is the best choice for consumers. So like Game Pass, great deal. I can play whatever the fuck I want for a small subscription fee. Awesome. And there's a PC version of it, so if I want to play a game on PC that's on that, I can. Hell, Sony, I'll be glad to buy your games on PC. I'm not going to buy a console for them, but if you bring them to PC, I'll pay for it. I don't care. I already played Spider-Man. That's awesome.
And that's where Xbox is. If anything, where Xbox is killing Sony, it's the Game Pass system of the fact that, especially if you watched E3, 90% of those games at launch were going to be on Game Pass, or they were going to be on Game Pass after a certain amount of time of being released. So now for this $10 a month subscription, you are now afforded this vast array of gaming, and all you have to make sure is you have enough storage space to handle it. Trust me, I have played, I'm pretty sure this might not sound impressive to anybody, but it is impressive to me. I have like 90,000 gamer score, and I'm not kidding you when I say ever since Game Pass has released, I probably bumped from 45,000 to 90,000 just playing games that I don't have to buy them. I can just download them, play them, and then uninstall them. Such a cool dynamic, such a cool concept. That's why I recommend everybody to get on board. But if you want to stick with PlayStation, to each their own. And well, tell your guys to fucking be nicer. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say.
I'm just gonna bring up this point real fast. Go ahead. When it comes to Xbox, I gotta give this to Phil because he has done amazing things since he's come into the lead of Xbox.
Daddy Phil,
yeah. But I will say that they are killing it on the whole. If you have a PC, if you have an Xbox, hell, even cloud gaming, you can play our games. They make it so that you can play anywhere. At some point, they want to do it with mobile, and hell, even Nintendo is even showing promise with like the relationship with Xbox. And it's kind of just crazy how PlayStation is still trying to keep that pride of keeping their stuff on their console. They are slowly making their way to adding stuff on PC. Uncharted, I think, is the next one to come onto PC. But it's
Uncharted 4?
I think, or it might be I don't know. But it's still
I hope it's 4. That's what I've been dying to play.
It's still a very slow process. It's honestly, they look like the bad guy right now. I'm gonna be real. They don't have a good reputation at this moment, and I kind of have to say it kind of comes down to the way they are handling their games and their attitude towards the space. I really think that this whole Activision deal would be amazing for everyone, especially the employees with how much they've dealt with in the last like 2-3 years or even longer before anyone knew what was going on.
Hi, Internet. It's me. your boy, DJ. I'm so sorry for the interruption, but I really do hope you are enjoying what you're seeing. I just want to take a quick second to let you guys know about our official partnership with W.GG. If you want to get your hands on some good gaming energy supplements, head on over to W.GG and use our code NSE. That's the letters NSE at checkout for 10% off your total order. Thank you for listening, and thank you for supporting. Now let's take it back to the boys.
Microsoft is one of the best, or deemed one of the best companies to work for, and I think it would be amazing for them to get into their fold. They allow unions, and they've just recently got a union in Raven Software, and I think that's awesome. But the fact that Sony and FTC are not looking at this, and they're looking at basically, oh, we don't want Call of Duty to stay on Xbox. That's all they have. That's all, their whole argument is basically based around Call of Duty, and the argument of
Call of Duty and false accusations of saying that this isn't going to be fair to other developers. No other developer has said anything. Sony.
If anything, everyone's saying that they want it to happen. Activision wants to happen. The employees want it to happen. They made an argument to where they said that if they gained exclusivity to Xbox, they would degrade and make shit worse in the game, the Call of Duty itself. Sony, you've done that exact thing. How many years has it been since Xbox has had their exclusivity? You've had it way longer than Xbox ever had it. It's been since the 360, or like I think halfway through the life cycle of 360, you gained the exclusivity. You've had it so much longer. You've cut so much content from Xbox users and just kept it for PlayStation. That is exactly what you're trying to accuse Xbox of what they're gonna do.
Oh, that also reminds me. Since you're bringing up the not the exclusivity, but they got the first dibs deal.
Yeah,
they did the same thing with Destiny 1, when you guys got content a month before Xbox did.
And 2,
you had your own exclusive strike in the very first Destiny that we didn't see for a year.
I think there was even stuff in Destiny 2 that was the same thing, and now they purchased Bungie, so I don't even want to know what they're going to do with that.
Plus, I just want to point this out. This could only be beneficial towards not just the gaming community, but I'm just going to narrow it down to the COD community, because I'm going to call a spade here. All right. If it's a stone, I'm going to call it a stone. Their management currently, I just remember his name, Bobby Kotick.
Yeah.
Not too great with what's happening over there right now. You know, where they kind of don't give a shit about the game. And this recent update where they were wanting to like nerf snipers and shotguns, and they're still the most OP thing in the game. I would know because I'm a sniper. So is he. So I think it'd be a little bit more beneficial for COD as a whole, because let's be real here. We said this in the past TT. If you haven't seen that, go watch that after this. The last few CODs have not been great, and this one has a lot of potential to be fantastic, especially since it's the first 2-year COD. 2, count it.
2.
This is the first game. We're not getting a second one in 2024. We get another one in 2025. Okay, and I think if Microsoft were to take charge and I'm not going to say like the other team aren't professionals, but at least give the existing employees fucking assistance and help and actual help, COD could be absolutely great. It's okay now, but it could potentially be so much better if they just relinquished ownership of the name to Microsoft. Let Bobby Kotick go fuck off, okay? Let him go. That's what he wants to do anyway.
Yep.
And this is just that was just my personal take on it when it comes to the Bobby boy. But I think it could be potentially so much better and greater if it was under, I don't want to say rule like it's a dynasty, but if it was under a new company guidance to help make it, fix it, develop it. Yes, that's the term.
Yeah.
Because again, I'm a COD kid, he's a COD kid, and we're just wanting the best for COD. And the most recent update thus far is when the FTC basically said, we will sue you and take you to court. Microsoft has said, they've confirmed, the CEO of Microsoft has said, we are prepared to fight, and we are prepared to fight for the long run. Meaning, if this fight goes a while, they're not pulling any punches. They're also not backing out. They will see this all the way through.
And honestly,
because again, it's understandable. I understand
Oh, sorry.
I was just gonna say, this is different from the time when I remember the FTC wanted to stop. I forgot if it was Disney or Fox from buying out all the different cable companies or channel companies like Paramount and all that other shit. That was just because they could. That's monopolizing. It wasn't being beneficial to anybody other than their subscription numbers that were just going up and up and up. This is actually something that can be beneficial towards a greater community, a community that is still actively on PlayStation. They're not losing anything. You're just gonna have a Microsoft name at the title screen. That's it.
Yeah. So.
Sorry.
No, go ahead. Fucking now I'm trying to remember what I was gonna say. Yeah,
I'm kind of passionate about COD. Sorry.
Oh, no, I am too, and I want to see the best that it can offer, especially if we can get devs basically some freedom. Because I feel that they, from what I've seen on social media, fucking.
Uh-oh. What are you
from what I've seen on social media,
I have become dragon.
From seeing on social media, I think there's a disdain and even there's a lot of stress from devs and how much they're dealing with, especially since I feel that there's not as much passion in making the game anymore, and it's pretty apparent because Warzone is in kind of a messy state right now, and multiplayer definitely could use some fixing.
And once you get the M13B, let's be real here, nobody gives a shit about DMZ.
Yeah, I mean, granted,
and there's a way to cheat it too. Mode. You just have to. Well, it's a fun mode, but there's a way to cheat it. Spawn in with somebody that owns it. They drop it for you. You pick it up. You exfil with it. You're in and out in 2 minutes. And now, guess what? You have the hardest gun to get in COD.
Yeah, so hard. But
I don't have it because I don't care.
I mean, even in recent, the COO of Activision, he has left, or he's going to leave the company. He's relinquishing his position as COO and going to work for a NFT company. That's another update right there.
By the way, for those that don't know, COO stands for Chief Operating Officer, as in operating, as in making the bitch work. So if the guy that makes the bitch work fucks off. What next? Sorry, I just wanted to have out that little little snippet.
So he go and work for the company that is making gorilla or monkey NFTs, other than being the COO of a corporation.
NFTs are still a thing.
Yeah, sadly, they're still a fucking thing. I don't know how they haven't gotten at this point.
Didn't Nate Shot learn his lesson when he bought a Bored Ape for like 400 racks, and he used it as his profile picture?
Sadly, he did, and I don't know what that man was thinking.
Didn't FaZe Banks learn his lesson when? Never mind.
Let's not get into that.
Over here now.
Speaking of pro teams, the CDL is something else, my guy. Oh my god! But you know what? No,
I've been trying to keep up with it.
We're not getting into that. That's a whole nother topic. But that also
all I saw thus far is what I was wanting to know.
Whoa. It also kind of comes down to how Activision is running this bitch. That management team for the CDL is pretty awful, and I swear they're making up rules as they go at this point. There's not a lot of communication. But the FTC, I don't feel like they have a winning battle, and a lot of people will say the same thing. Their arguments that they brought to the table in the forums, they don't really have that much of a leg to stand on, in my opinion. Oh wow. So
Sorry.
I don't see this case being easy for them to win, and especially since they basically misread or mistook something that the CMA, which is the European version of the FTC out in Europe.
Country Music Awards.
Fuck off. So the CMA, they mistook what they said about the not the Bethesda and its software deal that Microsoft did. They misread that and basically lied about something that Microsoft definitely did not say. And
of course they did.
Well, because their whole argument there was Microsoft basically said that they were not going to take away exclusive or take away games that were already on other platforms, say like Fallout or Elder Scrolls Online, stuff like that. Basically games that are on other platforms. They did not do that. They kept games on other platforms, like they said. And the deal did not say anything about upcoming games that are not even released yet, a.k.a. Redfall, Starfield, and any other games that might be coming down the pipeline. Elder Scrolls is still on any platform it can be on. Fallout 76, fucking even Deathloop. They kept PlayStation's deal with or I think it was id. I don't know. People that made Dishonored. I don't remember their name, but they kept their deal with PlayStation to have a timed year exclusive for Deathloop, and now Deathloop its contract is up and it's on Xbox now. And I think it's on PC too. Yeah, it's on PC, I think. But they kept their promise. And the fact that FTC tried to use a lie as ammo against Microsoft was kind of sketchy. I don't know.
Arcane Studios.
Arcane. There you go. Arcane. I don't know what they're thinking. FTC is kind of going into this pretty sketchy. What's up?
The most that Microsoft might do, and this is just my opinion, the most that Microsoft might fucking do is the same shit that Sony did when they had the exclusive rights to sell shit to PlayStation players. We as Xbox /PC PC gamers, words are very difficult, pardon me. The most that we might get might be some in-game exclusives that we get either a month early or some that's just exclusive to us on this console. Something that Sony did for 6 fucking years when they had the exclusive rights to early access to shit.
They're still doing it.
Uh-huh. So that's why this entire thing is hard to take it seriously. And even then, it's like, what are they going to give us? The most that they could potentially give us is a skin that has an Xbox logo riddled on somebody's fucking chest. That's it. Okay, it would be the same color scheme as the Optic Texas skin, but instead of Optic Texas, it would say the X logo. That's it. It would be the same scheme. So it's not that big of a fucking deal. Yeah. It's really not. Whereas with Sony, they had whole ass pieces of content that we didn't get access to ever, or at least for a very long time. So that's why I hate the hypocrisy and why it's hard to take this entire thing seriously from Sony just complaining of they're going to make it so hard for people to create games. No other developer is complaining. No other developer is complaining.
I also want to point out that they even done the statistics and the stats and ran it through. Basically, even if Microsoft were to buy Activision, Blizzard, King, God, their fucking name is so long sometimes. They will still be in the lead.
Microsoft Activision Blizzard.
Well, they also got to add in King in there because Activision, Blizzard, King. But they will still be in the lead. Microsoft will more than likely still be in third place. That's another thing. Microsoft is in third place.
Oh,
So they won't lose their market lead. Microsoft will still be in
Nope.
third place. All they basically will have to do is give Microsoft money. That's all they don't want to do, because they want that money that they would rather keep to themselves. They would have to give it to Microsoft.
You don't know what I think it is?
Hmm.
And this is just my speculation. Okay. I have a feeling that all this is stemming from, because I think maybe when Activision Blizz went up for market, I think, and again, this is just me, I think Sony tried to get into their ear and cut them a deal, and Activision said no.
Well,
probably not enough money, or didn't agree to the terms.
I was going to say, think about it. How much is Microsoft paying for them? I really doubt Sony can even afford a whole ass publisher with so many
I'm pretty sure
developers under their wing.
That's why I'm thinking that maybe whoever the CEO of Sony is, my guess is he probably offered like 40 Bs. And CEO/COO, so Kotick basically said, no, I want retirement and fuck off money for the remainder of my existence and my kids' existence. And so Microsoft, as lucrative as they are, because they've been around forever, y'all remember the floppy disk? I do. 70 billion, and that's not even breaking change for them yet. I still remember the jokes that people would make when Bill Gates was still the CEO. There was an actual poll done, like an actual, not poll, but a statistic done, where if Bill Gates quite literally dropped $1,000 on the ground, it would not be worth the 3 seconds for him to bend over and pick it up, because in that time he'll have made 3 times as much.
Yeah.
So that tells you how much money this company fucking has.
It's absolutely insane.
So now, I know it's crazy. They have fuck off money, and again, I want this to go through, and that's why I'm happy that Microsoft has made the executive decision of they are going to fight. They are going to take, if this does have to go to court, which I really hope it doesn't, because that's going to be a long, drawn out court process that nobody wants to sit through. And do the twist, but trust me, I was about to finish it here and then throw it to the old sponsor.
Yeah. Oh.
But
we're gonna have to probably, anyways. 46.
Oh, we're gonna have to end.
Yeah.
Oh, damn! Already?
Yeah.
I thought we were only like 20 minutes in.
Oh yeah. No.
Okay. Well, hopefully somewhere in here you maybe throw it to them anyway. All right. So, closing arguments, closing statements. From me, I just want to say, Activision, thank you for wanting to tough it out. I'm sorry that Sony is ready and willing to drag you through a long, drawn-out court process, to where, to me, and again, me personally, this is all because you're having something that I want and I don't like it anymore. So now here's a bunch of excuses as to why it shouldn't happen. Sony, stop it. Make Until Dawn 2 and let your Sony players be happy. Thoughts from you, Seth?
Honestly, I just really want this deal to go through, mostly because I think it'd be very helpful or very healthy for the just gaming community in general, giving players the option to have all these Activision games under something like Game Pass would be very beneficial to everyone, because let's be honest, no one wants to pay for all that money. Imagine buying every Call of Duty or every like Activision game, and that'd be a lot of money, and just having them easily accessed through Game Pass would be awesome, especially if some of them were to be on the PC version of it. You can get even a PC version of it. That'd be awesome too. I think that this has just been blown out of proportion. FTC are not listening to Microsoft, because that's another thing. They did not even talk to Microsoft. They didn't want to hear any of what Microsoft was offering. They just said, nope, we're going to sue you. That's it. So,
it's still the console wars of 2009. Xbox versus PlayStation.
And FTC is backing up at this point. So I really think that this has just been very blown out of proportion. I think this deal, this purchase, would be just beneficial for everyone, especially consumers, especially the employees of Activision. But they're not being thrown into the equation. According to the FTC, I have not seen them mention that stuff yet. And it kind of sucks because they're supposed to be pro consumers, But whatever, that's my stand.
In time, we'll have to see how this plays out. So now, on that note, it's outro time. Then we just gonna throw it up and we go hit the woe on them. So I want to end on a little bit of a lighter note because we did go on a little bit of a tear. I can admit I might have been shitting on PlayStation/Sony a little bit because I'm a little biased. But I don't want to talk about them currently. I want to talk about you guys, our viewers, our audience, the awesome people that are watching this. I just want to take this moment to say thank you guys very, very much for hanging out with us as long as you have, whether this is your first video or you've been here since E3 and more. And that was a long time ago, man.
Oh, yeah.
So, also, it's late into December. I don't know when you're going to see this. I hope you had a Merry Christmas, possibly a Happy New Year, and with much love from us all, from all of us here at NoSkill. And again, thank you guys for hanging out. I really do appreciate it. Whether 14 of you watch one video or like the elevator video, we get over 200 views. Every single view. I love the person that behind the camera that did it, that watched it. You guys are amazing. And before I get all goopy, want to say something to the folks?
No, just thank you for even watching this video. So at this point, I didn't even expect us to get over 100, but here we are, and 124 according to this video, and I'm just here for the ride, for the fun. This is great. And thank you,
all right,
Debbie,
ladies and germs, that'll do it from us over here.
Wherever that sponsorship goes in. Thank you, Debbie.
Oh, yeah. And Big Tubby, I'm so sorry. We got to chat. We kind of went on a little bit of a tear here, Daddy. But on that note, ladies and germs, there's some buns in the comment section down below. I highly advise you do whatever you want with them. And we will see you in the next one.